Good morning, explorers. It's a beautiful Sunday, July 31st, and we're at Five Islands Park in New Rochelle. That's just north of New York City. Today, we're gonna be diving the Blue ROV2, and we're gonna be diving it in this absolutely beautiful marine estuary environment. We're gonna be joined by about 150 students from the Verizon Tech summer camp at Mercy College. I'm Chris with Scuba.Tech.
I'm Amanda Gunning with Mercy College Center for STEM Education.
Hi, I'm Megan Marrero, also with Mercy College.
Adam Ryback with the New York State Marine Education Association.
And today, we're here at Five Islands Park in New Rochelle to dive the ROV, as well as take part in a lot of different educational activities. Do you mind telling us what kind of activities are happening today, just besides the ROV diving?
We also had the students operating drones from mobile devices and taking observations of the local marine environment.
Yes, we had them look around and look for examples of different habitats that are around the island. So they saw some salt marshes, they saw some rocky shores, saw some sandy shores, and then they were able to also look for some of the local birds and other animals.
And Adam, how does NYSMEA play into this for today's events?
NYSMEA kind of serves as a platform for educators and corporate sponsors to come together and collaborate, and at the end of the day, it's all for the kids. We're hoping to see basically whatever's down there. Hopefully we'll see some fish, maybe we'll see some anemones if we're lucky, maybe horseshoe crab.
I think we're ready to begin.
We have some really awesome people who are going to lead us in our ROV dive today. I'm going to turn it over to them and let them explain what's happening and what we're seeing, and we'll take it from there.
Sweet.
All right.
What's up, everyone? I'm Chris.
Morning.
Today, we're going to be taking a submarine, and we're going to be diving in these local estuarial waters right here at Five Islands Park. The submarine is controlled with an Xbox controller. Why? Because it's kind of got the best ergonomics, and because you can pass it around to other people. Just curious, who's ever been like snorkeling or scuba diving at all ever? Okay, like 10% of the audience. Okay. For everyone who's not been, you're going to get a chance today to see what exactly is in our local park waters. So you're going to have a kind of like a nice guided dive, but I need some help. I need 3 volunteers to help operate the ROV. I didn't think I'd get this far. I got too many volunteers. All right, we're gonna get ready for a dive, okay?
Wait, is this going on YouTube?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I'm famous. Hi.
Okay, take it in. And I'm kind of giving you how much tension there would actually be. Good job. Hold. And that's it. We're gonna launch this ROV. Say hi to the audience. Help them take the tether. Our goal is to never let it drag on the ground.
We lose the tether, we lose the robot. Speaking of robots, it's overheated. So it needs to go in the water.
Most computers have an upper operating temperature limit. If it's reached, they start to have some issues where they, kind of stutter a little bit.
Into the water immediately, no matter what it takes.
Got it.
Okay.
We're in the
Sounds
water.
like you did that.
Yep.
I'm gonna go check on the temps. Right now it's at 75, 66 Celsius. Please hold the ROV at the surface of the water. Restarting control. Restarting.
Yeah, or a blood clot. Yo, I found a crab! Where? I love
Oh, we're gonna see much more than just crabs.
Isn't your friend saying you're allergic to fish, kid?
Oh, yeah, I am.
So what was happening was that the ROV, where the computer is, and you'll get to see it more closely later, it has a glass case, and it's a sunny day. So what do you think happened? It got overheated, yeah. So it got overheated. So these guys were able to put it in the water to cool it down, reboot it, and now my understanding is we're ready to roll.
We're ready to roll.
Okay.
Launch, launch, launch. Dive, dive, dive.
That camera's better.
5 feet, depth 5 feet, continuing, transect east, continuing, transect east. There was a little fish that swam by. I got it hovering for you so you can kind of take a look. You can stick your head in if you want it closer. If you want to see
I'm hovering about 6 inches away from that seagrass, and it's actually holding the position.
That's incredible.
All that work paid off.
Megan and I were very fortunate that Verizon recognized the work that we've been doing in the community and gave us this grant of $150,000 for the summer to work with up to 150 middle school students. As Megan was saying, people don't understand what's under the water. The kids, when we had the speaker from Mbari last week, she was talking about how little of the ocean is really explored and understood. And, you know, that was mind-blowing for the kids.
We do live in an area that is surrounded by water, but most of the time kids don't realize what's going on, particularly underwater. They think our water's really dirty and there's nothing living in there, and that's a huge misconception. So we wanted students to have an opportunity to see how marine technologies are being used to both explore our waters and use scientifically as well.
So somebody that has no knowledge of water or what's underneath it might not be the best person to, you know, work on a problem that has to do with the oceans, obviously. So it's like we need everybody's experiences, their backgrounds. The diversity is really what's going to give us the best solutions for the future. So the interplay of science and technology are so important for solving tomorrow's problems.
So it's like if you teach kids like, hey, don't throw your stuff on the ground because they learned like, oh, that gonna, you know, the plastics are bad for sea turtles. Like that's a much stronger connection than like, you know, we don't want our water dirty. Like you want them to care about something. You want them to care about the organisms. You want us to care about our climate, for instance. And so it's getting all of that information into them, but helping them see that it's relevant to them no matter where they are.
Let's smell. AJ, one crank. Okay. Thank you. Are we cleared to recover? Pulling it in. We're good! Stop. No, don't do it. Not that fast, not that fast. Put one hand on it, grab.
Stand by. I have the load.
You have the load?
Release.
Release?
You're all on camera. Say hi to the entire rest of the world. We're gonna rinse it now. You want to see how we rinse it after a dive?
Wait, why do you guys
What a great question. Josh, why do we clean the ROV?
So, oh no, that's salt water, right? Well, whenever salt water dries, there's a lot of salt left over. And if salt is left over in the thrusters, it starts seizing up, which means the thrusters will stop working.
We don't want the electronics to get rusty. So we rinse the salt out.
3, 2, 1.
Blast, blast, blast!
You would have been right there.
If we don't pump fresh water through to get the salt water out, salt water dries in the motors, everything gets rusty. So now it's clean and safe.
That's only what you can't just pour it through.
Oh, we could totally just pour water over them, but this is way more fun. It's also more thorough. If you soak it, you know that everything's good. So these balance the whole weight of the unit and all the computers and lights and camera to make it neutrally buoyant in the water.
The students, we had about 150 students here today. They were extremely engaged. When the directors asked for some volunteers, we had way more student volunteers than we can handle. So we had to put them into shifts. We had them helping with the tether, helping reel in the tether, helping release the tether. Today we say thank you to Verizon. Verizon was the corporate sponsor. They made all this possible in conjunction with the New York State Marine Education Association, which donated their ROV and their staff for the day.
My name's Abby, and today was really interesting to see how they launched the rover, what the rover saw, and being able to get hands-on with it.
Messiah, and it was really fun to see what the rover found.
Okay.
My name is Gabriel. I kind of want to work with animals when I grow up, and it was really cool to see all that underwater stuff.
I didn't really think we would be able to see much because I know the water around here is really, really murky. So I didn't really think we'd be able to actually see anything.
Some fish and crabs and seaweed.
I expected to see a lot of seaweed because, yeah, when I go fishing, like, there's always a lot of seaweed.
Yeah.
When we first launched, how did that feel when you got to first see right under the water?
Saw some trash. Down there at the tether, we picked up a lot of trash, like fishing line, bottle caps, plastic bags, like soda cans.
I like being in the audience because, like, I could see lots of stuff that I knew about, like the barnacles and all the seagrass and stuff, and that was cool to me.
And what was your role down there when you were helping out? You were with Josh, right?
Yeah, to pull the tether down and make sure it wasn't like pinched or like stuck on the rocks. But then once we got it straightened out, we were able to like look around and like see what's in the water around it. We saw like schools of fish, like a lot of seashells and like seaweed.
You calling out what you were seeing and Josh calling out what was being seen actually helped me to steer to find it from underwater. So that was really good teamwork, communicating back and forth. What question did you have for us?
I had a question, and it was, where are some locations you've either scuba dived or used one of the RVs?
That's my favorite question, and I swear it wasn't planted. Okay, so this ROV is almost brand new. So it's been in a lot of swimming pools. It's been in Kaiser Park, Brooklyn, or Coney Island, and it's been here at Five Islands Park in New Rochelle. For the most part, we use these with shipwreck exploration. We use them with coordinating with scuba teams. So the ROV actually helps a team of scuba divers with communication, taking them to objectives, monitoring the team so that the surface support team can make sure that the divers are in a safe position when they're returning from the dive.
I had a question. Do you know how long the tether actually is?
Yes, we do. This is a 100-meter tether, so it's about 330 feet. The computer, through the tether interface, can talk to the ROV. And then the ROV talks back by sending it telemetry, which is like numbers on where it's moving and how fast and what the temperature is, and it sends it a video feed. Thank you so much for helping out today. I really, really appreciate it. The oceans appreciate it, and I think NYSMEA and the schools appreciate it too. Anything from y'all?
You guys did a spectacular job running around and finding little bits of trash in the marine life and removing that very specifically. Because as you said, dumping trash in someone else's home isn't really nice. You kind of want to get that out when you're there.
With Scuba.Tech, our mandate is pretty simple. We want to bring expeditionary principles into tech, and we want to bring technologist principles into exploration. We want to create open source workflows, and we want to engage the community, both present and future. If we get to do a lot of scuba diving and ROV ops and augmented reality and 3D modeling while we're at it, great. So that's where we're coming from, and I feel like it's kind of a perfect partnership between these three agencies.
Absolutely. No, I mean, the mission statement is just to engage students, particularly in underserved communities. We need more teachers involved. We need more volunteers like Chris and Josh and Henry. We need more schools involved. We need more just people to get involved. You know, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So just get involved and smash that like button.
Thanks for exploring with us. Catch you in the next time.